Hey everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2024. I want to give a shout out to many of you that have helped support me and my channel and all the donations, amazing donations sent in for my daughter's medical bills and for her recovery after the bout of meningitis that probably started around the 17th of last month. You guys are God's angels. Thank you so much for your generosity. She went back to work after a visit to the doctor, and her blood test came back saying that her white cell levels were back to normal. I hope she's not pushing it. No work for almost a month. Yeah. It's been very difficult. Yeah. I would not wish this on anybody to come down with meningitis. Thinking about all the people who did have medical conditions when Hurricane Helene and Milton came through. If my daughter didn't have access to an emergency room when I took her in, I hate to think, she could very well be dead. So thank you. I've been working on the update about the earthquakes that have been happening there in South Carolina. They've been coming in one after another as I've been doing different updates about the news. There's been a lot of talk about hurricanes being controlled by the U.S. military, the government, and whoever else. If it is true that they have the technology nowadays to create earthquakes, control hurricanes, they could have broken up any of these hurricanes before they did all the damage. But like with Hurricane Helene, they intensified it according to social media. They were showing whistleblowers that showed how they can create earthquakes and also control the weather now. Another weapon of war. What are your thoughts about this? 6 earthquakes were reported in Greenwood County on Sunday. This is near the Saluda River. The most recent earthquake was a magnitude 2.2 at 10:49 a.m. local time. There was also a 2.5. That was at 10:09 a.m. local time. 24 people said they felt that earthquake. At 9:06 a.m. there was a magnitude 2.1. 15 people said they felt that earthquake. At 8:50 a.m. local time there was a magnitude 1.8. No one said they felt that one. 6:12 a.m. there was also another 1.8. No one said they felt that one. At 4:48 a.m. there was a magnitude 2.4. 11 people said they felt that. I downloaded 2 different monitors. Here's the earthquake, probably at 14:48. Now that's universal time. That could be the magnitude 2.2 that they're reporting. That would have been at 10:50 a.m. local time. It's the last one that they have marked in red, but we got other earthquakes here that are not being reported. Going to the spectrogram, here's the last one that they reported. We got another one right here. I'll go to the seismic signature. Let me make that bigger for you. Okay, right there. Slow moving tremor. Then we got another one. These are all basically slow moving tremors. And I'll pull it over. Now that one was at 14:54. We got another one right here at 15:06 it looks like. So that would be at 11:06 a.m. And we got some smaller ones coming in. We got one here at 16:20, slow moving tremor. A little popping right there at 16:38. Now that's universal time. Let me come down. Let's see, we got another one here at 17:23 universal. So that would be at 1:23 p.m. There's the spectrogram. We got all kinds of them going on, some real small ones. Here's another one. Let's look at the spectrogram. 17:57. So that would be 1:57 p.m. There's another one. All kinds of small ones. Now this here monitor, like I said, I got two, is JSC. Another swarm that was back when December of last year. And then the other monitor is up over here, Lake Jocassee. Okay, and that's probably about 64 kilometers northwest, or about 103 kilometers. Whereas the other station is about 73 kilometers or 45 miles, so it's a little bit closer. And that is east of the location where these earthquakes have been happening. Lake Jocassee, looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 earthquakes that are showing up on that monitor. And then earlier, yeah, look at this heated water and magma. That was really deep. Now that was at 17:49 Universal Time yesterday, or 1:49 p.m. yesterday. Yeah, interesting seismic signature. Let me come down to these other ones here. This is probably the largest one right there at 1410. USGS says it was 1409. So that would have been at 10:10 a.m. local time. Yeah, 2.5. It was larger than a 2.5. 25 people sent in reports. USGS gave it an intensity level of 5, which means it was felt by most people. There would have been some breakage. What kind of damage did you have? Windows, plaster, cracks in your walls, disturbance of tall objects. Anything with your foundations? Have you checked your water and gas lines? Here's a map of the felt reports. There's that river. So here we got intensity level 4, 14. Intensity level 2, 1. Intensity level 2, 1. And intensity level 3. Now, intensity level 4 means it was felt indoors by many, outdoors by a few. Well, 14 people did send in reports. If they were still sleeping, they would have been woken up. Dishes, windows, doors were rocking. Automobiles rocked noticeably. Here's a report on X or Twitter, CBS. Still recovering from Helene damage. South Carolina County rattled by 6 small earthquakes Sunday morning. 7 earthquakes have shaken Greenwood County since Thursday. Yeah, there was one on the 10th. What else do we got? 1.8. Like I said, the earthquakes keep coming in. This is what's considered an interplate earthquake. Not along any boundaries of tectonic plates. And we know that ancient faults have been reactivated. This one says, okay, now this is a little fishy. I'm not a seismologist, but 4 earthquakes this morning and 5 in the last few days raises some red flags. Not sure what's going on near Greenwood, South Carolina. Has anyone, or do you know anyone that has felt them? I come up with at least a magnitude 2.99. It might have been as high as a 3.0. Yeah, this one looks like it's moderately deep. They're saying it was 2.9 miles in depth. The other earthquake they're talking about was a magnitude 2.2. That was right in the center of this cluster. 1.9 miles in depth. 17 people sent in reports to USGS Did You Feel It website. On Thursday, the county and city of Greenwood officials had a joint press conference to provide storm updates to its residents. They said that the devastation was cataclysmic and devastating. They were happy to announce that the emergency phase of their work had been completed and no longer operating under a state emergency. Now they move ahead with recovery stage, said the county council chairman, Chuck Motes. Hurricane Helene shut down at least 2 poultry plants in Georgia and North Carolina. That's one of the things they're not talking about, is the damage to poultry and pig farms. Yeah. There's evidently only one business there in South Carolina that doesn't have power. Aiken, who is the power producer, put out a statement saying it's not going to be the grocery store that they've come to dislike. It's leaving when I find out just how much costs to purchase a few bags of essentials. I don't blame my grocery store, they said, though. Costs have gone up everywhere, and we're seeing it at Aiken Electric Cooperative. Inflation isn't just driving up the prices of eggs, for example. Utility poles cost more than they did a few years ago. The price of electric transformers have soared from $874 in 2019 to $1,360 today. Aiken Electric also carries some of the highest property tax burdens in the counties that they serve, and as you know, interest rates have risen significantly in recent years. In order to deliver reliable power, you have come to expect, they borrow money to make upgrades to their electrical systems. Those higher rates have caused our interest expenses to increase. I found another report that said that the storm had claimed 230 lives, with about half of them reportedly coming from the communities across western North Carolina. And that number keeps rising as the search continues for those still missing. There was just a horrible story about one family that tried to evacuate there in North Carolina, and the car started to get swept away, and they tried to get out, and a man and his children all drowned. The wife drowned, I guess, too. They're still looking for the body of the man. His body was found in Tennessee, evidently. A professor from South Carolina, Carrie Mock, who studies hurricane history as a geographer and climatologist, said that the fast-moving storm hit the mountains and it created an orographic effect. This professor said that normally fast-moving storms are less of rain hazard, but Helene was a big exception. In the southern Blue Ridge Mountains, Helene's rains were enhanced by the terrain and what's known as orographic uplift. When a storm is focused to rise up on mountains, the air cools and condenses, dropping more precipitation. Mock wrote on a recent piece for the school. I guess he's doing a paper there at probably one of the universities. More likely, there's millions of chickens and who knows, untold numbers of pigs that have died, which is going to raise the cost across the nation. They don't keep track of exact numbers, the Department of Agriculture, in any of the states. Some of the nation's largest poultry companies, including Aviagen, Pilgrim's Pride, and Wayne Sanderson's Farm, suspended operations at their local facilities due to power outages that happened during that time frame. At just one South Carolina poultry operation, they feared that over 45,000 chickens died at one plant. Only one plant, 45,000 chickens. In Georgia, more than 107 poultry facilities in the state have been damaged or totally destroyed by the storm. So we got 107 poultry facilities that can hold between 20,000 to 52,000 chickens in each barn. The latest estimate that I could find was 2.14 million to 5.56 million birds likely had died there in Georgia. Yeah, I couldn't find anything for South Carolina, sad to say. Couldn't find anything for the number of pigs or turkeys. You think about Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, prices are going to skyrocket. No numbers for turkeys either. And you know who's going to cover the cost of the loss of the birds? Us, the U.S. taxpayer. Not by grocery prices, but by the cost that the government is going to provide for replacing the chickens. Now this is for the meat companies, not the small farmer. The meat companies will receive, more than likely, $3 per mature bird from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and 75% of the bird's market value. Now, the farmers, the small operation groups, they're only going to receive 33 cents per bird. The federal government also reimburses economic losses from other severe weather, like heat waves, cold snaps, and disease outbreaks. Over the last 2 years, a highly pathogenic strain of bird flu known as H5N1 has resulted in the death of over 100 million poultry birds. Yeah, at $3 a bird. Can you imagine that? I shouldn't be laughing. The federal government has given well over $1 billion to the poultry industry, much of that going to the largest companies. Yeah, at $3 a bird, and then the small farmers, they only get 33 cents per bird. Oh, and that $750 that the FEMA government's going to give people, did you know that's only a loan, that they have to sign papers and agreement that they're going to pay back that $750? Here's a map of South Carolina's active mines. There's been a lot of talk about lithium. I don't know. But yeah, here is, let's see, what do we got? I just seen Greenwood. Okay, what do we got by Greenwood? These are all the active mines. I'll give you a link to this page. By Greenwood, we got the Stone Crest Mine, Quarry Road Mine. That's evidently owned by Herbert Anderson Jr. Let's see, we got this one right here. Another Greenwood Quarry. Vulcan Construction Material. A lot of this is rock in this location that I was looking at. Kenneth Hanna Mine. This is a vermiculite mine used mostly for installation. Here we have another vermiculite mine. Yeah, and we'll just, like I said, I'll give you a link. Looks like a lot of vermiculite mines in this location. Yeah, Clinton Quarry. Aggregate rock probably. And then the different symbols: clay only, gold only, granite, limestone, sand, shale, vermiculite, etc. Not to say there isn't lithium mines, but I don't see any listed here. There could be. If you know any lithium mines there in South Carolina, let me know. With them having the ability to create weather, either make it stronger, they're definitely wanting to make it stronger, they're not dissipating it, and the ability to create earthquakes. You just don't know nowadays which ones are natural or from the NextRad stations that are being created. You just don't know. So that's all I have for you right now. What are your thoughts? Please put your comments down below. Thank you once again very much for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.